Hi, Jenny. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Um,
My,
can you tell me, please, a little bit about yourself?
sure, I'm Jennie Horchover, live in Ruislip in Middlesex, northwest London. For the last 10 years, I've run the HR department Harrow and Hillingdon, supporting small local businesses. Apart from that, I've got two children, a girl in her teenager years now and a boy who's 10. I've been married for 20 years and have pretty much always lived in this area.
Oh, thank you for that. That's really interesting because now you've got, is it a franchise or a license?
Yeah, no, we're called licensees. It's very similar to a franchise. So the HR department has people like me all over the country, and each of us has our own geographical territory that we work in independently. So it's all the benefits of being self-employed, running your own business, but I have kind of the support and backup of a bigger team and colleagues across the country, which is really lovely.
Yes, it's nice. It's got its own network there, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Touching on that. So have you
Yes.
always been involved in HR and employment law?
Yeah, so I did a sociology degree at Sheffield University, and my dissertation was in an HR department in the local council, and I've done HR ever since. So yeah, it's been my life.
I should imagine it can be quite difficult at times with sensitive issues that you might experience with perhaps making people redundant or sorting out arguments maybe, or that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that combination of the employment law side and having the knowledge of it, of keeping up to date with your people skills as well. So yeah, that's why I love it. I guess it's that huge variety of, you never quite know what each day is going to bring.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, actually, because I wanted to know from you what really is the thing that you love most, and can you expand on that a little? Or
yeah, sure. I mean, I currently have 32 local businesses that I support.
wow.
So they can all do something completely different, not just in terms of their occupation, but company culture, how many employees they've got, the way that they want to work. So I used to think just working for one company and the HR was varied, and now I have that multiplied in so many different ways that I just get to know lots of different business owners locally and support them with what they're doing. And yeah, every week guaranteed someone will phone up with something, and I think, well, I might have been doing this for over 20 years, but I've never dealt with this before. It was always surprises me.
Yeah. Now 32 seems like a tremendous number of people to keep your handle on, as it were.
Yeah, it keeps me busy.
Yeah, I bet it does. So is that in my ignorance, is that sort of face-to-face stuff, or on the telephone, or a mix of all that?
Combination. So yeah, they're my retained clients. So I always support them more with email and phone advice. So if they've got an issue, they'd use me like a normal HR department in a bigger company. They'd phone up or email and asking for some help or advice, and sometimes it's going to be 5-minute conversation. It's not always a biggie. It's not always a redundancy or a disciplinary. It can be, can you work out the annual leave entitlement for someone that's going part-time? It's that whole range of HR issues that I deal with. Yeah, so some can be quick, some can take a long time, and then I have 2 clients predominantly who I go and see weekly or every other week. So that's the best of both worlds for me, really. So I get my teams and that thing of having your mug in the kitchen and having a chat with colleagues when you're making a cup of tea. So I get that every now and then, as well as working around and about. So yeah,
that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because years ago I used to with my IT training, I was part-time, well, considered a part-time trainer in the college, although I was doing like 40 hours. Probably wouldn't be allowed now. So perhaps I didn't say that, but no, it was contractual, but I didn't have a place to hang my coat.
Yeah, it's those little things.
I didn't even, it wasn't just me, but other teachers, trainers in the same boat. You didn't even have your own restroom or anything like that. You were sort of like a nomad almost.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice about feeling familiar in places. So, because I've been doing this for 10 years now, so a number of my clients have been with you nearly that long. So I've got to know them all really well. There's a nice familiarity when I pop in, that I know not just the business owners, but the employees as well sometimes.
So from what you were saying earlier, it was a sort of natural progression, but what actually made you take that leap?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd always thought I'd want to be self-employed at some stage. So these the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development has a magazine, and every time I looked at it, the adverts at the back page had one for the HR department, which is who I work with now, and it was always kind of calling at me and tempting for me. And I worked at Aquascutum, a retail luxury fashion brand, for 10 years. My son was one, and it was that opportunity arose really to try and do something different, and to kind of question, do I want to be travelling into London every day and spending that time commuting, or shall I do something more local where I have that flexibility and freedom really? So that was the trigger 10 years ago to change the way in which I worked.
It certainly seems as if it works, because I know that I didn't realise that it was a licence until talking to you some little while ago.
Yeah.
Because I was in contact with somebody on Facebook. We were chatting, and she was the HR department over Blackheath Way. And then I saw these others popping up, and I thought, gosh, they're a big company. I didn't.
Yeah, no, there's lots of us now, and not just in the UK. Actually, a couple of years ago, they branched out into Australia, so we're taking over the world.
What about Spain?
Yeah, not yet, but who knows? Yeah, they have expansion plans. So
I heard on the radio on Thursday.
Ooh.
Radio. But anyway, this isn't about me. This is about you. So thank you very much for sharing that. So you are. Which area, just confirm for everybody, which area you look after as a host?
Yeah, Uxbridge is the area. So been doing that just for a couple of months now, so very new for me.
Yeah. So your next meeting's this Friday, isn't it?
It is. It's Friday coming up, yeah.
So I will be there. I will be there. Jenny, thank you so much. Lovely to talk to you again.
Thank you.
On Friday.
Yeah, will do. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.